This team right here looks completely different from the beginning of the season, right? And Jimmy Butler has a lot to do with it. But I also have a crazy take that I'm going to tell you in a couple minutes. First and foremost, Jimmy Butler has found his fit on this Warriors team. If you look back in the beginning of the year, this Warriors team couldn't win nothing. And then you start to consider that Steph Curry had so many nights where he would only put up 2 points, 5 points. There were more than one night, more than 2-3 nights where Steph Curry put up less than 10 points. Steph Curry was stopped. Yes, I know that's something we would have never imagined to hear a couple years ago, but Steph Curry at a certain point this year was getting stopped. Teams were guarding him amazingly. They were sending 2-3 guys on him. They were keeping wings on him. They were doing everything that they couldn't do before, but they were doing now on Steph Curry, and it was working. The Warriors, honestly, might have saved their dynasty. They might have saved their career. They might have gave themselves a couple more years to win with Steph Curry. They traded for Jimmy Butler. They signed him for 2 more years at $121 million. And Jimmy Butler has found his home here on this Warriors team. Jimmy Butler is playing amazing on this team. And I was wondering how it's going to turn out with Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. Because, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, they need the ball in their hands. Like, Draymond needs to play, and the ball needs to be in his hands. He needs to facilitate every single play, every single pass, basically, for the whole team, pretty much. But Jimmy Butler now kind of does that more, and then Draymond Green sets the screens for Steph Curry like how he used to do before, and Steph Curry has been going insane. He has been dropping 30-point game after 30-point game after 30-point game. It looks like he literally just can't be stopped. Like, it looks like Steph Curry is back alive. Like, it looks like we just recharged Steph Curry and brought back a different version of him from a couple of years ago, and now Steph Curry is all like fresh, rewired, charged up, whatever you want to call it, because he has been going insane. And yesterday, the Rockets went up against the Warriors, and if you know anything about the Rockets and you've been watching the Rockets, you know this Rockets team is filled with energy. They are filled with just running, sprinting, attacking the basket, offensive rebounding, doing everything that teams like the Warriors are bad at, and then doing everything that young guys usually do on teams to make the other team tired and exhausted. And the Warriors kept up. And not only did they keep up, the Warriors dominated the Rockets yesterday. Like, the Warriors did not look like they were a 8, 9, 10 seed going up against the 2nd, 3rd seed in the West. The Warriors yesterday looked so great. This team looks completely different. They just saved the whole season. The Warriors look like they've been playing together and been winning, and they look like a top 3, 4, 5 seed in the West. They don't look like a middle of the pack type of team. They don't look like a play-in team. And as I said before, Steph Curry's been scoring with ease. Yesterday, the Rockets fight back at the end of the 3rd quarter. They go on a huge run. And beginning of the 4th quarter, they continued their run. I think it was like a 13-1 run at the end of the 3rd, and then 25-5 run, in total, in the beginning of the 4th and all that. But the Warriors called a couple timeouts. Steph Curry comes back in. He hits a couple of clutch shots. And then the Rockets just went cold. They couldn't make anything. They couldn't hit shots or any of that. And the Warriors won the game. Even when the Rockets were, so close, and it was a 4-point game, and it was cut down to 2, the Warriors came back. Steph Curry hit a couple of clutch shots, and then the Rockets dared Draymond Green to hit a 3, and he hit that 3. And it was a 9-point lead with like 15 seconds left, and the game was over. This Warriors team looks so amazing with Jimmy Butler. And my crazy take, Steve Kerr might have been or might be the worst coach to coach a dynasty team. Why do I say that? Steve Kerr can draw up plays. He's amazing coach in terms of like he knows how to win with developed players and a developed team. But there is no way that Steve Kerr has a coaching position if it wasn't for Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. Steve Kerr cannot develop players. How many times? I think we've been 2 times right now. In 2020 and in 2021, we've seen the Warriors have Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and young guys, and D'Angelo Russell and a couple of other young guys. And they had Kelly Oubre. They had, this time with Buddy Hield. They had Dennis Schroeder. They had Jonathan Kuminga. They had Jordan Poole. And honestly, they have not been able to use them. Steve Kerr has not been able to figure out how to use these guys. And back then, when he had the D'Angelo Russell, the Kelly Oubre, so on and so forth, he didn't know what to do with them. That was the Warriors' worst seasons. And they didn't win another title or even look competitive until Klay Thompson came back in 2022. Once Klay came back in the 2021-2022 season, they won the championship in 2022. And then they looked competitive when Klay was there. Klay leaves, and then they just fall back down. Steve Kerr just cannot develop guys, and as a coach, I feel like you need to know how to develop a guy. Like, you need to know how to develop your players, and then you need a system. The Warriors don't have a system. For a coach that's been there for 10 years, there is no Warriors system. There's a system revolving around Steph Curry, but there's no Warrior system. Like, you can't look at a guy around the league and be like, oh yeah, he will look good on the Warriors. Oh yeah, he's a Warriors type of guy. You can't do that. Like, you could look at guys around the league and be like, oh, that's a Spurs type of guy. That's a Heat type of guy. Like, he can really be so good for that team. Oh, this guy will fit perfectly with the Celtics. Oh, this guy will fit perfectly over. But with the Warriors, you can't do that. There's nobody that will fit perfectly. It's just trial and tribulation. It's taking a gamble and just hoping that it works. Like what they did with Jimmy Butler. They traded for Jimmy Butler. And luckily for them, Jimmy Butler wants to win. So he's going to do everything that it takes for him to win. Jimmy Butler's been in the league for so many years. He doesn't need to be developed. So I think with Jimmy Butler there, this team is going to win. When are they going to win a championship? I don't know. Could be this year. Could be next year. Could be never. I don't know. But they might just make a couple of deep playoff runs. But Jimmy Butler in the playoffs with Steph Curry, if Jimmy Butler takes control of the offense, I think this team could win a championship. My only question is, why is Steve Kerr so good at coaching teams that have another star next to Steph Curry and Draymond, but as soon as it's just Steph Curry and Draymond and a couple of guys that are decently good, or just they talented but they're just not stars, he can't do nothing. He doesn't know how to use them. He doesn't know when to implement them. He doesn't know when to give them playtime. He doesn't know if he should start them or make them come off the bench. He doesn't know what to do with them. Do y'all know for the longest, Steve Kerr was saying that he doesn't know what to do with Kuminga, or I think at a certain point he even said he doesn't know what position Kuminga plays. And they were trying to plug him in at the 4, the 5, the 3, until they finally realize what Kuminga is good at, and then they give him the chance. Kuminga starts going crazy, and he gets injured. I mean, at this point, I don't know what happened. And then he had Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole was great, okay? I don't know if that's him developing Jordan Poole, or if that's Jordan Poole just learning from Steph Curry in them. I don't know. I'll give him that credit. If he developed Jordan Poole, I'll give him that credit. Good. But you let Jordan Poole go. Like, how many times has Draymond Green came out and almost destroyed the Warriors dynasty? Like 2 or 3 times now. And this is the 3rd chance that the Warriors got to win again. He ruined the dynasty with Kevin Durant. They win 1 championship with Jordan Poole there and Klay and Steph. Then he ruined that opportunity by punching Jordan Poole. And then now they got Jimmy Butler. But this year, honestly, Draymond Green looks a lot more level-headed. There's times where he's holding Steve Kerr back. So, hopefully there is no clashing heads between him and Jimmy Butler. And if there is, hopefully just like regular teammate shit, whatever it is. And I'll make more video about that maybe later. I'll post it like Sunday, Monday, something like that. So stay tuned. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and share this. We'll talk with E. Safety.